How can a man's desire to rescue a woman create an imbalance of power or dependency in the relationship?
Only if she is not interested in accepting the information that she's given from the man that's trying, or he's trying to force it on somebody uh, who doesn't want it or need it. Often the imbalance that you're asking about often comes when somebody's trying to shove something down your throat. You're giving unsolicited advice. On the flip side, somebody's asking for help and nobody's giving it to them. You know, a woman is out there in need and she got a man that just he's kind of like he's off of it. He's not really interested in helping her at all. So there that could be an imbalance both ways. Then a balance is a woman that don't want help and a man that don't want to give it. A balance is a woman that needs help and a man that loves to help. Darwin, every time I look at you, I got what happened to the mustache?
I was edging my mustache up, and my 1 year old bit me on the ankle.
I had to ask you, brother. I'm like,
So
yo, what? Every time I look at you, I see Wallow from $1 million worth of game and shit. I'm like, when did Wallow get here and shit? Shout out to my man Darwin. Listen, according to the video, man, why some men try to rescue every woman they date. Listen, personally speaking, I think everything they said on that is word salad. I do not agree with either point that they made on that video. Personally, I have a propensity to attract birds with broken wings. Me, that's the kind of guy I am. But I do not need to fix people because I'm broken. I fix people because that's just what I do. You know, my first degree, my first major when I went to college in 1989 at the age of 17 was liberal arts because my father was an educator at the Los Angeles Unified School District. He retired from LAUSD 44 years. Teaching is just in me, you know, and I build people and I gravitate just me personally towards those who need the most work. And if I see that in a romantic relationship, then I'm on it. It's not because I'm lacking somewhere or whatever it is that I see a need in a woman and she needs her wing fixed because it's broken. It's because mine is broken too. And I'm trying to, no, I don't agree with none of that. And in fact, the girl said, no. The brother said that those who fix people no longer want them after they've been repaired or something to that effect. Has anybody and this is why you got to be careful where you get your advice. Has anybody ever remodeled a house? Has anybody ever purchased a fixer-upper? No. Oftentimes we buy our homes. We love that house after we put a lot of work into it. I don't know how many of you guys are homeowners.
Yeah.
You enjoy the remodeling or the change or the butterfly that your house turned into after you put your hand to it. It's not that you say, okay, well, damn, I didn't fix this house up. I can't wait to get rid of it now. You know, this is boring now that I fixed. No, I'm about to enjoy this house. Let me be a little bit more practical. Has anybody ever restored a car, a vintage car? I used to low ride.
Yeah.
Do you somehow think that instantly once you restore a 6.4 Chevy, once you restore a 72 Corvette Stingray, cars that I've put back together again, that I just suddenly want to get rid of them? Oh, this is boring now. There's nothing else to do.
Not. You'll sit there and stare at it in the driveway for hours.
Stare at it in the driveway and don't let nobody lean on it. Don't you lean on? Do you know how much sweat equity and work I put on restoring that? Get off that car. I love that car. And oftentimes we turn those cars into heirlooms and pass them down to our kids if we can, especially if there's no money issues. We don't just say, oh man, this is bored, I want to get rid of it. So what makes anybody believe that if you put the work in on helping somebody become a better version of themselves, oh, I'm bored with her now, I want to get rid of her? No, you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Sure, why do I do it? Go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Much respect to you, man. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. You lived a lot. This man done been to college, done did low riders, done
All of it.
done did
When
he
you
done
get
did all of this
52,
stuff. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You done it all, man.
but why though? You know, one of the reasons why, Sweeney, is because I'm full of knowledge and resources. I've never been homeless ever in my life, but I like to help the homeless people. It's not because I have some connection with homeless and I know what it's like to be out there on the streets in the cold. No, I know that they can do better and some of them need better. And if I can help, I'm there. I ain't never been broke, but I like to help people if I can. I like to employ my people, especially people that look like me. It's not, well, you know, I remember back when I was poor. No, that's not the case. Never have been ever in my life. I think somebody had mentioned, I think it was M. White was talking about leaders. Leaders are measured by how many, leaders are not measured by how many followers they have, but by how many leaders they create. There's a certain sense of pride in watching somebody become better, especially your woman. I have a mastermind group. Why? Why do I even have a YouTube channel trying to give game and knowledge and help and give insight to those who need it? I love fixing. Ask Lapeef. Lapeef had a in Atlanta 2 years ago. He had a meetup where hundreds of us all flew to Atlanta to do a gathering because JR put together a dope ass event for the whole weekend in Atlanta. The moment I met JR, that's the first time I met him in person. I start looking around his equipment. JR, no. What messing with his camera settings? Because I just is there a way that I could be of service to help you in what you're doing, JR? Looking at his switch, and he was switching cameras and connecting it to the system and setting up all his different angles. And I'm here. JR's look. Everybody else is like, "Hey, how you doing? Where's the bar?" Me, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? Where you need me?" Not because I want help from JR during my event or when I had an event because I needed it. It's because some people like to help people, and that's just it, man. And when it comes to people, fixing people who need it sometimes gives a sense of pride. Listen, men, we provide, we protect, we procreate, and what's the fourth P? We problem solve. It's built in. It's baked in the cake. And for some guys, it's baked in more than others. And so if we get a woman that we know she needs a little help, she needs a little knowledge, we want to work on her vocabulary, we want to work on her looks, we want to work on her education, we want to get her in a skill or whatever, or sharpen up her skills where she could advance further on, or maybe she has an attitude problem and you dealing with it and you're going through it, you getting cut up and beat up and punched. You know, some people rescue dogs, not because they needed rescuing, but because the dog needed rescuing, because you help because you can. And I'm one of those guys. So I don't agree with anything that they said in that video. People don't always pick a woman or somebody in a romantic relationship to help them because they need helping. Sometimes people just got resources and knowledge and want to impart that on people who need it. And we just need more people like that. That's me.
I had the same thoughts as Shannon. I don't understand why we try to make everything sound toxic. And that's what that sound like some type of Munchausen syndrome by proxy or some shit. Like that's what they try to make it sound like. And it's like, no, men tend to like to rescue the women that they give a shit about. Anytime you like a woman and she comes to you with some shit, if you like her, if not love her, you're going to try to solve her problems. Because that's what we do. We try to help those that we give a fuck about. And them trying to apply this toxic twist to it is exactly the reason why people go into relationships and they start trying to find toxic traits and shit that don't actually be toxic. Oh man, that man is trying to help me out. He must be trying to do something. He must be trying to get some power over me, or it must be something wrong with him that he's trying to help me out. No, he just give a fuck about you. And I mean, I don't know any men that try to rescue every single woman that they run into. I don't know a man that does that. If y'all know him, I point him out because I don't know one solitary man that tries to rescue every woman that he comes in contact with or that he dates.
You never met somebody that fall in love with all the hoes, like everyone that they just instantly fall in love.
But
They usually become a pastor.
The operative word though is that he fell in love with her. He didn't go out his way to try to. He's just one of those motherfuckers that fall hard. God knows what reason. But he still like he wasn't. His initial thing wasn't I need to save this woman. It was, man, I fucking love this chick. You like,
So-
damn, you just met her.
No, so I think that's a symptom. If you fall in love with people you don't know, if something wrong with them, you're gonna try and fix them. I think that kind of is part of the pathology.
But I mean, even that's extreme though. Like, I don't
This
know
whole
very many
thing is
men that
extreme
fall in
that
love
you're
with.
talking about.
And I guess that's the problem is that we talk about these very broad things that are actually more benign and good in nature, and then we try to find the extreme that will make it just wrong. Like even in this situation, men tend to take care of their women. They tend to, like Shannon said, problem solve, help their women out, try to make them the best version of themselves, and it's innate in us. And then we try to find something about it that just says that to try to give an ick to it. I don't think this is one of those kind of things that needs an ick. Shit, women already apply enough icks to everything that men do already. We're gonna add helping them out to it. But I guess.
All right,
Have you ever had a friend like? All right, have you ever seen like, if we take it off romantic partners? So like, say you the homie that's up, and your other homie, he follow you around. He come to the club, you pay for everything. When y'all go out, everything on you. You the guy. You keep him around because you know he don't got it, and you trying to show him some love. And once he get up, y'all not friends no more. Could that be similar to what this scenario is kind of sounding like? No. Okay.
Because
I'm
the person who would destroy or sever that relationship is the person that got up. That's normally how y'all stop being friends. It ain't the person that's been helping them and giving them the entire time that severs that relationship. It's normally the person that got up and feel like they don't need the person no more.
So
can y'all stop using metaphors so we can kind of get some details? When you say got up, what do you mean? Like, what the hell is that?
Look at you, black. You don't know what got up mean?
I mean, I do, but I mean, for the sake of the audience, you want to kind of
Hey,
like
black.
You saying they love it up as far as financially? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, man. Come on now.
Do that then. I like that better. I mean, some fool in the chat might think got up mean he got a boner or some shit.
That's the only reason why you said that shit.
No, I ain't say that.
That's the only reason why you said that shit.
Man, saying, bro, you gotta be.
Pause. You could have just said pause, bro. That was a long about way to say pause.
A long about what? I know we got women watching. I just want to pose this question to the panel. How can women set boundaries with men who exhibit rescuer tendencies without damaging the relationship?
Stop begging for money all the time.
Hold on, wait. First of all, why would a woman put an obstacle in front of a man who's trying to rescue her?
She don't want to be saved.
I'm saying if they already dating. Okay, so let's just try to get some context on this. When you say rescue a woman that you're dating, or you mean like, okay, look, she's finna fuck this relationship up. I've been there before. I've experienced this situation. She don't have any idea where this shit can go. And I know she want to stay in this relationship. Let me apply my skills and my experience and my knowledge so we can continue in our relationship. Is that what we mean by save her? Or are y'all saying, oh, she for the streets, let me save her?
I don't know. The example that JR, I ain't never seen that creature. A woman that don't want resources and help and assistance from whether it's from a friend, homie, next door neighbor, lover, fuck buddy, friends with benefits. But in this mythical, magical land of women that don't want men to help, women need to stop accepting it and just let them know straight up. Because oftentimes men want something in return for their investment. So if she wants to set boundaries and she doesn't want assistance, help, advice, resources from a guy, I think they pretty much know how to say no or ignore a motherfucker. But if she don't, just tell them straight up. That's what I think. Now, can that pose some danger for some women? Is that one of those situations where, you know what, I gave him my number because I don't wanted him to smack me? You know, we got extremes, but women, that if you got boundaries and you don't want somebody to cross over them, tell them. I don't know how else to really. I wouldn't have any other advice other than just say it straight up and find out how fast somebody will stop giving you those resources. I just never met a woman that don't want nobody's resources.
So the men that will try and save the woman, even after she say no, will still try and give her the money and will try and force it on her to the point where, because have you ever seen Soft White Underbelly? I don't know if y'all familiar with that show. That dude Mark always trying to save a prostitute. Like, he consistently trying to save a prostitute. Even if they tell him no, they good, he's steady sending them money, steady trying to get them away from their pimp, steady trying to do this, and they always backslide on him. And I think he got the perfect personality for what we talking about right now. I know it's not a romantic relationship.
What do you mean by backslide?
Like, so they pretend like they gonna leave their pimp. He'll put them in a hotel. They'll be supposed to be getting their life together and moving on. Next thing you know, the pimp live in a hotel and she turning tricks up out the hotel.
Oh no, that ain't the same thing of what Shannon's talking about. What he's talking about is it.
Why do we got to use a stripper? Can we use something like the regular woman we run into?
I mean,
the regular women that you run into, most of them is not gonna slap a gift horse in the mouth. Women lack morals and ethics at some point in time when you flashing enough yards in their face and you're allowed to take them out of that poverty position. A lot of women ain't gonna say no. And we know women like this. And we just don't want to admit it, but we've also faced women like this. They lead with seeing what they can get out of you. A lot of women don't have morals and ethics as we think. You know how many guys, like in, like, say, Shan's position, I'm not counting his dollars or anything like that. If he want that woman, he could break her morality, kind words, and, you know, eventually keeping that pressure on lavish comforts that she's not used to. You think she ain't gonna return to what's comfortable?